And finally, the 10th team, last but certainly not the least, Chennai Super Kings, and they're going to be previewed today by, of course, me, Avnish Hegde, and not to forget Somesh Agarwal, who's our chief writer, who's been, of course, an anti CSK man, but that's not the best way to get this preview off to a start. But the big news, so MS Dhoni is not captain anymore. It's Ravindra Jadeja, or should we say Ravindra Pushparaj Jadeja, with all the jokes and banter aside. First and foremost, your first reactions in that before we delve deep.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter who walks out for the toss or who comes after the game is over for the presentation, but I mean, everyone knows who's gonna run the show. I mean, it's typical. Dhoni. It sort of happened with the transition with Kohli as well. Uh, uh, I mean, it just answers all the speculation that who would take over when Dhoni is not around, which is not far ahead in the future. If you remember, after 2020, there were conversations like they would want to buy Kane Williamson or this and that, to just fill in that gap and sorry, not hire, buy a captaincy figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he would want to, groom Jadeja. Uh, it can work both ways. I mean, because I mean, some captain would rather want to be thrown at the deep end when the chance comes, because see, most likely, like I said, it will be Jadeja, because Jadeja is also a very important fielder, so he'll be fielding somewhere down the boundary, just like what used to happen with Kohli, and he'll expect Dhoni to run the show. So as a skipper, as a someone who will be leading for the first time, and that first time is going to come at the age of 33. Uh, I don't know how will it work out, because even Jadeja would be a little laid back, saying, "Hey, Dhoni's there. I don't need to bother much." Whereas, if you would have been in the deep end right from the get go, probably would have learned quicker. But that's just what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm pretty sure the whole of Chennai right now will be probably sulking a little bit the fact that they won't have Tala as their leader, but still, he has the best seat in the house, the vantage point, like you said, so he will still be at the forefront of the tactics, and also he'll have to pass that luck of the toss as well to Jadeja. Hopefully, that happens. And our graphic designers, of course, put this creative out, and they got it spot on. To be fair, so let's dive deep, Som, then into that squad depth chart then, because look, they've brought familiar faces back like Robin Uthappa, Amity Raidu, Dwayne Bravo, and we expected that. Rituraj Gaikwad, of course, retained. But what I want to ask you about is that opening pair between Gaikwad and Conway, because look, Faf and Rituraj were absolutely milking runs for fun in that season where they were so successful. How do you see them go about their business this time around? Will it be again the dependency a lot on their veterans?
See, first and foremost, CSK are a team that knows how to win. Even when no people discard them after 2020, they just bounce back really quickly, plug those gaps, and I mean went on to win the season. Who would have expected that? But it happened. Uh, Even after the options, CSK has sort of stuck to their template. The style of play is not going to change, because even if they've lost a few players, the ones that they've sort of bought in directly fill into those roles. So CSK and KKR, by the way, are among the two teams that have the most players playing before this season, as in most retained players, if you can call it, even after counting those that were bought in the auction. So, like I said, the style is going to remain the same. Talking about top of the order, basically, Conway will have to quickly get into Faf du Plessis' shoes, wherein Faf was playing the role of managing the pacers, while Gaikwad was more aggressive against spin. So that's where the duo of Gaikwad and du Plessis complemented themselves, and this is the role that Conway will have to now play along with Gaikwad.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting in that left-right combination. Let's see how they flourish. And then you think about their bowling attack. They have, of course, their first ever under 19 bye, believe it or not, in Raj Hangargekar. He's going to be promising. There's people like Adam Milne, there's Chris Jordan, there's Dwayne Pretorius. And we've seen characters like Dwayne Pretorius, I mean, in the sense CSK buy people like Scott Staris, Jacob Oram over the years. Do you think he's someone that they can mold over time, and someone like even Shivam Dubey who comes to mind?
Yeah, so CSK are always really smart when it comes to such buys because before Dwayne Pretorius, they had Sam Curran
Yeah.
as a sort of a like for like replacement for Dwayne Bravo. He even ended up being their first choice over Bravo in when he was not in the pink of his health. But right now, Dwayne Pretorius is actually more like to like than Sam Curran when it comes to replacing Bravo. So at I mean, obviously, Bravo would be their first choice. But even if he is not up to that level, they can rightly fit in Dwayne Pretorius, who by the way had a really great World Cup. So that's there in terms of bowling. Uh, Adam Milne, he has the pace. He'll hit the deck and will basically be Dhoni's go-to man across phases. So Bravo takes care of the death overs, and Adam Milne will be his. I mean, I'm still saying Dhoni. So Jadeja will look up to Adam Milne to deliver in every phase. The elephant in the room is, of course, Deepak Chahar's injury, and the reports that are coming in say that he won't be around for half the season, and that is going to be a big headache because they don't really have any other option in the experience
Yeah.
side of things who can fill that gap. They'll have to look for some youngsters like Simarjit Singh and all to take his place. Uh, about Hunger Gaker, he's an exciting prospect. There is a lot of buzz around him. He's good with the bat as well, but under 19 to IPL is a big jump, and the jump is biggest when you are a pacer. So
Yeah.
if we look at in the past for players like Gill and even spinners like Vishnu, it was far easier than compared to Nagar Koti, Mavi, Karthik Tyagi, those sort of players. So if history tells us something, the most difficult uh, uh, prospect or the type of players that face the most difficulty jumping from the under 90 level to this level of competition is the pacers. So it'll be it's not going to be easy for Hunger Gaker.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. And many people might reckon saying, you know what, MS Dhoni gets the best out of the talent. And we've seen that in the past because people like Faf du Plessis, Amity Raidu, I don't know, even Robin Uthappa over the years has kind of made themselves run through brick walls for MS Dhoni, and hopefully that's the same modus operandi they can go forward with. Now, I want to draw people's attention to their best 11. Now, this is, of course, with Somesh and his think tank in terms of CDC and what they reckon. Now, we apologize because we understand that Jadeja is a captain, but we just still like putting Dhoni out there as a captain with that C next to his name. But jokes apart, so do you think this on paper is their strongest 11? I know that they'll be missing Moeen Ali and Deepak Chahar for that first game, but apart
Yeah.
from those two, is this the strongest 11 or do you beg to differ?
No, definitely. I mean, I think this 11 picks itself. The
Okay.
only question mark would be if Dhoni would want to, trust Hunger Kicker right from. Again, I keep saying Dhoni, but I, I don't even want to apologize. I
Yeah, we
would
need to
want
get used to
to,
that.
yeah, would want to trust Hunger Kicker right from the get go. That's the only question mark. Apart from that, yeah, see, Moeen missing out on the first game might give an opportunity for Shivam Dubey. That way, they can plug in Char's absence by playing Chris Jordan. So that's there, but their playing level looks sorted. Uh, yeah, I mean, talking about Uthappa, Dhoni, they remain. There will be concerns around their form, but CSK won't be expecting consistency from them. They'll probably be used as hitters. Just go play your shots, get out. Doesn't matter. We anyway have batting till number 10.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because look, they always have had that knack to bat deep, and nothing changes really. Let's just, of course, ask you about whether Jadeja will actually bat at six or bat higher. What do you reckon? Because he's been, of course, a terrific batsman across all formats in the last 2 years. He's kind of revolutionized that spot. Do you think there's a higher case for him? And my second question to you, with regards to Chennai Super Kings, they have this weird thing to get players and not play them. Case in point is Mitch Santner. Do you think they will hold him back as well? Because we've seen how left armers kind of thrive in T20s, or is that me just thinking out loud?
Unlikely. given
Okay.
Jadeja is around, don't see Mitchell Santner playing a lot of games. Talking about your first point, of course, Jadeja is now a beast with the bat. Last two IPL seasons, he's averaging in the 50s, and even strike rate is touching 160. He can bat anywhere from 4 to 7, but CSK do not have any qualified finishers, so they'll want to keep him at 6. One thing they would want him to do is not just take over the captaincy role from Dhoni, but also inherit some of his nerves of steel when it comes to finishing the innings. So Jadeja would be the finisher. One thing that again, this is what I feel is CSK, like we all know, do not tinker with their 11 much. They end up playing 12 or 13 players in the entire tournament in their
Yeah.
good years. So I think Chahar's absence will challenge them on that front, because it won't be very easy for them to write a perfect 11 right from the get go. And when if we look for anecdotal evidence, then what happened in 2020 was uh, uh, the inability of CSK to figure out the best 11, and that's when it took them a while to have the ideal role definition.
Yeah.
So that can be the only challenge, but apart from that, it's a really strong unit.
It is, and we can't make a mistake about that because a lot of players go under the radar, like you touched upon. Robin Uthappa was fantastic in some of the key games last time for them. Amati Raidu, of course, is someone that always kind of produces when the chips are down. But having said that, Jadeja has never captained his life, apparently. Now, we had that chat off camera, so it's going to be interested to see if he takes to it like a duck to water, or whether he's going to be the invisible captain that is MS Dhoni. But nevertheless, it's been fascinating to unravel this Chennai Super Kings squad with you. They're going to be in action on Super Saturday to kick off IPL 2022, and we'll have a special guest, of course. So you can catch it all on cricket.com. So thanks so much. Enjoy the trip in Hyderabad, and we'll catch you in the weekend.
Bye.
Take care. Right, that was just Somesh Agarwal pouring his thoughts out about Chennai Super Kings, champions of 2021. Can it be back to back here? Time will tell. Thanks for watching. It's goodbye from me.